Tortuga, the rise and fall of the pirate republic. Beneath the blazing Caribbean sun lies an island draped in myth, legend, and blood. Tortuga. It was once a remote outpost, barely a whisper on colonial maps. But in the 17th century, Tortuga exploded into the world's imagination as the lawless capital of pirates. From its palm-lined shores, the most feared buccaneers of the age set sail to plunder the empires of Europe. This is their story, the rise and fall of a pirate republic. Tortuga, meaning turtle in Spanish, was named for its shell-like shape when spotted by explorers in 1492. Located just off the northern coast of Hispaniola, it was claimed by Spain, but never firmly held. The French and English soon moved in, drawn by the island's natural harbors and high cliffs. The early settlers were a mix of farmers, adventurers, and rogues, men with little to lose, carving a life out of the Caribbean jungle, far from the reach of kings. By the early 1600s, Tortuga's rugged isolation drew outcasts from across the Atlantic. Disgraced soldiers, escaped slaves, and men who had lost everything. These early buccaneers lived by fire and blade, smoking wild meat for passing ships, selling hides and biding their time. But trade was never enough. The glint of Spanish treasure turned their hunger to the sea. Armed with stolen muskets and vengeance, they boarded makeshift ships and took the fight to empire. Tortuga was no longer just a refuge, it was becoming a cause. They came from France, England, the Netherlands, deserters, dreamers, and devils. And from their chaos, order emerged. The Brethren of the Coast wasn't just a name, it was a code. Captains were elected. Loot was shared. Mutiny meant death. In candlelit taverns, they wrote their laws on rum-stained parchment. Here, respect was earned, not inherited. Tortuga became a floating republic, a radical island of justice born in a world of tyranny. In its wild way, it was more democratic than the monarchies they defied. Spain, furious at the pirate threat, struck back with fury. Armadas sailed for Tortuga, raining fire on its cliffs, burning homes and ships. The attacks were relentless, but so were the defenders. The pirates rebuilt after every raid, turning ruins into redoubts. They carved gun ports into the rock, built lookout towers high in the jungle, and trained crews like soldiers. Tortuga became a fortress, not just of wood and stone, but of will. Every cannon fired was a defiance, every flame a vow to never bow. From this cauldron of violence and freedom emerged Henry Morgan, a man as cunning as he was cruel. Tortuga became his lair, his base for the most audacious raids in pirate history. Backed secretly by English governors, he sacked cities, torched armadas, and rewrote the rules of war. Panama burned beneath his boots. He was knighted in London and branded a criminal in Madrid. In Tortuga's taverns, he was a legend, the man who showed the world what a pirate could be and how far a lawless island could reach. In the late 1600s, Tortuga reached its unruly peak. The docks bristled with stolen goods, silver chalices, sugar, fine cloth. Foreign tongues filled the air. Dutch, French, African dialects. Slaves won freedom with sword and sail. Runaway sailors drank beside former nobles. Life was short, violent, and intoxicating. But in this chaos, a kind of freedom thrived. Tortuga became a symbol, a place where empires bled and men ruled themselves. For every crown lost to piracy, Tortuga gained another piece of its myth. But the world was changing. Empires that once tolerated pirates now turned on them. Treaties were signed. Pirate hunting became policy. England and France sent governors to clean house. Some pirates betrayed their brothers for pardons. Others chose to fight and die. The once lively streets emptied as nooses replaced pistols. The Brethren splintered. The code was broken. Tortuga, once a dream of freedom, began to choke on the same laws it once defied. The brotherhood was fading into the fog. Modern Tortuga, or Ile de la Tortue, is peaceful, a far cry from the roaring days of cannon smoke and sea battles. But the bones of the past lie just beneath the soil, Buried coins, broken swords, whispers in the reef. Fishermen still speak of wrecks offshore. Children play where pirates once drank and fought. Tourists come to see the ruins, but the spirit of defiance lingers. It's no longer a pirate stronghold, but Tortuga hasn't forgotten what it was. It has faded from the maps, but not from the heart of the sea. Wherever the wind howls and waves rise, the spirit of Tortuga lives on. Thank you for joining this journey through time. Until next tide, stay curious.